In the quaint village of Willow's End, where the local pastime was gossip about the baker's overstuffed croissants, old man Albert possessed an oddity, a vintage radio that crackled life into his evenings. This radio wasn't just any radio. It was a relic from his youthful days when he wooed the love of his life with 1940s jazz. But one evening, the radio sputtered, huffed, and finally, in a dramatic flair any amateur theater director would admire, went completely silent. Albert sat there, his cup of lukewarm chamomile tea halfway to his lips, aghast, determined not to let his radio go to rest eternally in silence. Albert sought help from his fellow villagers, each more eccentric than the last. First, there was Marge, the retired opera singer whose solution to everything was high-pitched notes. "Maybe it just needs a little la to wake it up," she trilled, fiddling with the knobs while erupting into song, causing birds to fly from surrounding trees in panic. Next was Felix, the self-proclaimed inventor, who once tried to create a butter-churning alarm clock, which only managed to explode butter all over his chickens. Felix arrived armed with a toolbox larger than his ego. "Fear not, for I shall coax it back from the electrical underworld," Felix declared, only to trip over the radio's wire, sending him flying into a thankfully unlit fireplace. The duo was joined by Bernice, the village artist whose passion for painting landscapes had not equipped her for technical endeavors. She attempted to add aesthetic appeal by turning the radio into a canvas of abstract wildflowers. Fortunately, Albert's withering look stopped her before a single brush touched the surface. If one thing came from these comedic escapades, it was laughter, a sound more beautiful than the radio's tunes. Over the course of a week, these mismatched villagers worked side by side, their efforts as futile as trying to hang dry paint onto a wall of rain. But funny thing was, as the radio continued to remain silent, the village began to hum with chatter and laughter. Old grudges between Marge and Felix over a forgotten Christmas talent show were talked over and resolved. Bernice and Albert discovered a shared passion for reminiscing about their late spouses. In the end, the radio was never fixed, yet none of them noticed. What the quirky band of friends ultimately tuned into was the cherished frequency of companionship, a signal stronger than any they could receive from the old airwaves.